Hello students, good afternoon. Today we have to discuss about the sixth chapter, banking. In the last class, we discussed about the fifth chapter, monetary economics. We completed. Yes? Okay. Let us start the banking. In this video, we have to concentrate introduction of banking, historical development of banking, and the history of Indian banks, commercial banks, everything. Okay, let us see one by one. We have to concentrate the functions of central bank and commercial bank and understand the non-banking financial institutions and their function. So this is the core concept of this lesson. Okay. Finance is the lifeblood of all economic activities such as trade, commerce, agriculture and industry. We know a bank is generally understood as an institution which provides fundamental financial services such as accepting deposit and lending loans, etc. Banking sector acts as the backbone of modern business world. So that the modern business world depending upon the banking system only. Without banking, they cannot move, they cannot invest, isn't it? So that which is the backbone of the modern business world. What? Banking. Okay, the banking system significantly contributes for the development of any country. So important contribution given by banking every country. We know that. Okay, due to the importance in the financial stability of a country, banks are highly regulated in most countries. So that each and every country is depending the banking system for their financial assistance. So that a country should concentrate their banking system and regulated in the systematic way. Okay, they want to regulate their money supply and control their inflation. In the last class itself we learnt, isn't it? So that they concentrating, and also they have to give importance in the financial stability, sustainability of a country, so that banks are highly regulated in the most countries. So the most of the countries regulating their financial system, which is bank. Before we have to enter in the concept, we should understand about the historical development of the bank. Okay, so that the Riksbank of Sweden, which had sprung from a private bank established in 1656, is the oldest central bank in the world. Central bank means RBI, isn't it? We know that central bank means RBI. So Sweden's Riksbank only the oldest central bank, which was started in 1653. It acquired the sole right of note issue in 1897. That bank only, the Sweden's Riksbank only got the sole right of issuing paper currency. Which year? 1897. But the fundamentals of the art of banking have been developed by the Bank of England in 1864 as the first bank of issues. The sole right got the Riksbank. Though the sole right of note issuing got by the Riksbank in Sweden, the Bank of England only issued a note in 1864. They only first issued note. Okay, a large number of central banks were established between 1921 to 1954 in compliance with resolution passed by the International Finance Conference held at Brussels in 1920. These are one more questions. Okay, so a large number of central banks were established in the year between means 1921 to 1954. So the resolution passed by which conference? The International Finance Conference, which is held at Brussels in 1920. The South African Reserve Bank in 1921. The Central Bank of China See here, the Central Bank of China 1928, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand 1934, Reserve Bank of India 1935, the Central Bank of Ceylon 1950, and the Bank of Israel 1954 were established. These are the banks were established between 1921 to 1954. Okay. Next we have to move the history of Indian banks. So what are the history behind in the Indian banks? The first Bank of India was Bank of Hindustan, which was started in 1970 under the British rule. Due to the British rule, the Hindustan Bank started by them. The banking system in India was controlled and dominated by the presidency banks. So that the banking system in India was controlled and dominated by presidency bank. Maybe presidency bank started after the Hindustan Bank, which is dominated the Hindustan Bank. There were 3 presidency banks. As I told you, some of the presidency banks started there and which is dominated, isn't it? So these are the banks dominated the other banks. Bank of Bengal, Bank of Bombay, Bank of Madras. They were called presidential banks. And all are merged. So after that they started to merge all the banks. These 3 are merged in 1921 as Imperial Bank of India. The new name got it. So all these presidential banks are merged in 1921 and got the name Imperial Bank of India, which is changed into 1955, changed into SBI, State Bank of India, in the year 1955. This is the history of Indian banks. Understood? The next concept is commercial bank. Commercial banks refers to a bank or a division of a large bank, which more specifically deals with deposits and loan services provided to corporations or large middle-sized business class people, as opposed to individual members of the public, small business class peoples. See here, the commercial banks deals about the deposits and they are providing loans to the corporations, the large size corporations and the large middle sized business class people only. They opposed to individual members, maybe the public peoples, as small business class peoples. For them, they do not provide long-term credit as liquidity of asset is to be maintained. So they do not provide any long-term credit. Okay, they can give only short-run or short-term credit. So if they have liquidity asset maintained by the commercial bank, then only they can give the long-term credit. What are the functions of commercial banks? So commercial banks are institutions that conduct business with a profit motive by accepting public deposits and lending loans for various investment purposes. The accepting deposits from the public and for the profit motive only they are working there. For investment purpose, the various purpose they are running the commercial bank. So that the commercial banks are institutions that conduct business with the profit motive by accepting public deposits and lending loans. Loans also they giving to the public and for various investment purposes. The functions of commercial banks are broadly classified into primary function and secondary function, which are the shows in the flow chart. See here, given the flow chart, functions of commercial banks. What are the function? Primary function, secondary function, other function. Let us see one by one. The first one is primary function. In the primary function, the commercial banks accepting deposit. It implies that commercial banks are mainly dependent on public deposit. Yes, you know that, isn't it? The commercial banks are functioning and depending upon the public deposit. There is no public deposit, they cannot function. Okay. First work is accepting deposit. Whose deposit? The public deposit. There are two types of deposits which are discussed as follow. One is demand deposit, another one is time deposit and advancing loans. Okay, the first one is demand deposit. It refers to deposit that can be withdrawn by individual without any prior notice to the bank. The second one is time deposit. It refers to deposits that are made for certain committed period of time. Banks pay higher interest on the time deposits so that the peoples are deposited their money in the bank for some period, so that some time duration, 1 year, 2 year or 5 year, 10 year, like that, in the time duration they deposited their money as fixed deposit, which is called time deposit. This deposit can be returned or withdrawn only after a specific time period by providing your prior notice to the bank. So then only you can withdraw your money. So that this is called time deposit. Understood? So you can withdraw only after over period of time. Understood? Then advancing loan. It refers to granting loans to individual and business class peoples. Commercial banks grant loans in the form of overdraft, cash credit, and discounting bills of exchange, everything. These are advancing loan. So commercial bank providing loans to the individual as well as the business class people, and they providing loans as overdraft, cash credit, and discounting bills. Okay. The next function is secondary function. In the secondary function, it can be classified under three heads, namely agency function, general utility function, and other function. The commercial banks act as an agent of customer by performing various functions, so that the commercial bank functioning are acting as agent of customers. So agency function. Collecting checks. The commercial bank collect checks and bills of exchange on the behalf of their customers through clearing house facilities provided by the central bank. So that they are acting as a agent, isn't it? So that they are collecting checks for their customers. So who are their customers? The account holders are their customers. So that the bank collect checks and bills of exchange on behalf of the customers through clearing house facilities provided by the central bank. So central bank providing some clearing house facilities to the commercial bank. Okay, with the help of the facilities they providing and working for their customers. Collecting income. Commercial banks collect dividend, pension, salaries, rent, and interest on investment on behalf of their customer. A credit voucher is sent to customer for information when any income is collected by the bank. So they are working as a agent, you know that, isn't it? That's why they are collecting income also from various companies. They are collecting income and providing to their customers. So that a credit voucher is sent to customer for information when any income is collected by the bank. So next one is paying expenses. Commercial banks make the payment of various obligations of customers such as telephone bills, insurance premium, school fees, and rents. These are all collected by commercial banks. So we can pay the payment through the commercial bank. What are the payments? Which is the telephone bill, maybe insurance premium, or school fees, or rent. Similar to credit voucher. The credit voucher also we can pay. A debit voucher. This also sent to customer for information when expenses are paid by the bank. So whatever happening in the bank, the information collected by the central bank and which is informed to their customer. Then on general utility functions. It implies that commercial banks provide some utility services to the customers by performing various functions. So that general utility function given by commercial bank to the utility service to their customers. So their customers service very important for the commercial bank. For their customer satisfaction they are functioning there. Yes, then only they can deposit their money in the bank. Providing locker facilities. Commonly we know that the banks, each and every commercial banks giving locker facilities to the customer. So it provides locker facilities to its customer for safety custody of jewelry, shares, documents, bonds, debentures and other valuable items. As a customer we can keep in their locker every documents and jewelries, shares, money, everything. We can keep it in the lockers provided by the commercial bank. Banks are not responsible for the items in the lockers. So we have full responsibility of the lockers because the bank providing all the locker facilities and keys, everything to their customer hand. That's why they are not responsible for whatever items you keeping in the lockers. Understand? This is providing locker facilities by commercial bank and issuing traveler's check. So banks issue traveler check to individual for traveling outside to the country. Whenever we are going to other countries, we can change our money as a check. Okay, so these works providing by commercial bank to the customer. So they changing their money as check and which is easy to going safely from one country to another country. So their customer safely going and exchanging their money as a check. This is called a traveler's check. Okay, this is 2 mark question, often asking question. So what is traveler check or define traveler check? They may ask. Dealing in foreign exchange. The foreign exchange is providing by the commercial bank to the businessman dealing in exports and imports. However, commercial banks need to take the permission of the central bank for dealing in foreign exchange. The business class people should get permission of the central bank for dealing their foreign exchanges. Okay, next one is transferring fund. What is transferring fund? Transferring funds. Commercial banks working as a agent, we know that. So third point is they transferring funds. So it refers to transferring of funds from one bank to another bank for their customer. Funds are transferred by means of draft, telephonic transfer and electronic transfer maybe. So these are all doing by the commercial bank for their customer. Letter of credit. Commercial bank issues letters of credit to their customer to clarify or certify their credit worthiness. Okay, so they are their customers. For their customers they giving surety. So like that they certify their credit worthiness, how much they can get credit. The worthiness of the customer determined by the commercial bank. That's why they can give or issue the letters of credit. Okay. Underwriting securities. The commercial banks also undertake the task of underwriting securities. What is underwriting securities? As public has full faith in the credit worthiness of bank, so they can provide, they providing their customers the credit letters and all. For what? Credit worthiness. Okay, depending upon the credit worthiness of their customer. So that as the public has full faith in the credit worthiness of the bank, public do not hesitate in buying the securities underwritten by the banks. So the securities also given by the commercial bank to the customer, so that they given credit worthiness. That's why the public do not hesitate for buying their securities. Electronic banking. So this is at present we are utilizing, isn't it? It includes services such as debit cards, credit cards, and internet banking. Everything. These are all called electronic banking. The third functions of commercial bank is other functions. In other functions, we have to see money supply, credit creation, collecting of statistics. These are the three heads given here for other functions. Money supply. It refers to one of the important functions of commercial bank that help in increasing money supply. For instance, a bank lent 5 lakh rupees 5 lakh to an individual and opens a demand deposit in the name of that individual. Bank makes a credit entry of 5 lakh in that account. Who started the account? The individual. This leads to certain of demand deposit in that account. The point to be noted here is that there is no payment in cash. Thus, without printing additional money, the supply of money is increased. Isn't it? So, certain of us, the supply of money will be increased here. So, note are not printed by the RBI. This is money supply. Credit creation. Credit creation means the multiplication of loans and advances of commercial banks receive deposit from the public and use these deposit to give loans. So they collecting deposits from the public and giving loans from the deposit of the public. However, loans offered are many times more than the deposit received by the banks. So that whatever they have, the sources of money. So loans offered many times more than the deposit received by the bank. This functions of banks is known as credit creation. The third point of other function is collection of statistics. Banks collect and publish statistics relation to trade, commerce and industry. They are collecting all the information, which means data, and publishing their statistics. The data statistic relating to trade, commerce and industry. Say whatever they having at present data about the trade, commerce and industry, so that they advise customers and public authorities on financial matter. So easily given all the statistical data to their customer. These are the other functions. So today we started the new chapter, which is banking, and you learnt about history of the banks and history of Indian banks and commercial banks, function of commercial banks. Okay, go through the video continuously. The rest of the concept we will discuss in the next video.